How's it going, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to a brand new Blu Ray update. All my pickups for the month of October. 34 pickups, so a little bit more than last month. I had 30 last month, but in this update, we got a ton of 4K. We're getting more and more 4K each month as we get closer and closer to getting that 4K setup, which I'm hoping is going to happen at tax time, so right around the corner. And a lot of these 4Ks are horror. I typically, get most of my horror titles in my October update, for Halloween time. But just regular horror, there's I think like 5, and then there's a bunch of the 4K that are horror. So, but we have tons and tons of Steelbooks in this update. Cannot wait to show you guys those Steelbooks. A lot of cool FYE exclusives came out in October. But we also got a DVD. We got a few Scream Factories, including the collector edition. We got an MVD this month. It's been a while since I had one of them. One DC Marvel and a couple A to Z. So, yeah, a great update. A lot of really cool stuff. Cannot wait to show you guys. So let's quit talking and let's get the update started. All right, I always like to start with DVDs anytime I have them in the updates. We got one Eight-Legged Freaks. Found this out at Half Price Books when I went out to FYE to pick up some Steelbooks. Swung by the Half Price Books over there just to see what they had. And, I don't buy a lot of DVDs, but I still like to check them out every once in a while because there's still a few DVDs out there I'd like to add in my collection that, don't have Blu-ray releases. But yeah, Eight-Legged Freaks, pretty fun movie with David Arquette. And fortunately, I didn't know that belonged to Preston. Yeah, I didn't even ask permission if I could have this movie. Should have asked him. Should have called him up. But yeah, a movie that's not on Blu-ray, so didn't own it. Saw it, had to grab it. All right, we're gonna get into the A to Z. I only got 2 this month, just like last month. First one up here, Kung Fu Panda 2, another one of those DreamWorks slipcovers that I've been trying to get all of them for. I found this at Half Price Books. I think in my shopping video I did with my sister. It's funny, I'm buying these backwards. First one I found was Kung Fu Panda 3. Now we got 2, and now I just got to get part 1. But I can't find that damn thing. I keep looking in the wild, and I haven't been able to find it. But even online, like when I go on eBay, it's on there, but I'm trying to find this particular one with the slipcover, and I just can't find it. There was one that I found that was like the guy wanted like $30 for it or something. I'm not gonna pay that, but I don't know. I gotta find it. I don't know if I order it from like BestBuy.com if it'll come with a slipcover or not, but I'll get it eventually. I know, but just trying to just trying to get all the DreamWorks slipcovers. Okay, and then the other one I have here, as my buddy Craig would say, first time to slipcover, that is the Goonies. Yeah, as far as I know, this never had a slipcover before, and now we finally got one. And it's one of those Warner Brothers iconic moment slipcovers with the cool quote at the bottom. They started putting these out like, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. I've gotten a few over time, but when I seen that they were putting one out for Goonies, I was like, hell yeah. I've seen these before, like even this exact image and everything. They've always had a DVD one, but never a Blu-ray one. And even though I own this movie, like I have a box set, I got a couple Steelbooks, I had to get the slipcover edition. You guys know I'm a crazy collector. Yeah, so I kept, if you remember in some of my shopping videos, I was looking for this for the longest time. And a lot of the Walmarts I would go to either didn't have them or I think one had like an end cap, but it was empty. And I kept checking and they just weren't showing up. The workers at Walmart kept telling me like, oh, I don't know, they're not in stock. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to go online, I'm going to order it. And I found one on eBay and grabbed it. But then as soon as I got it in the mail, then every single Walmart from that point on that I checked had them. So, yeah, I'm just really happy to finally see this movie with a slipcover because it's like one of my all-time favorites. So, all right, that's it for A to Z. All right, DC Marvel, only got one here, and it is DC. Most recent installment in the DC Animated Universe. This is Wonder Woman Bloodlines. I pick them up every time a new one comes out, and no, I haven't seen it because I haven't seen any of them. So, still waiting for that year I could put aside for time to watch all these damn movies. But yeah, we'll get around to it. Until then, I'll just keep buying them. Okay, now we're going to do the MVD. Yeah, I got one in this update here. This is number 19 in the line. It's been a while since MVD put any out, but this is a cool looking one. My Samurai. I think I did this. I think I unboxed this for you guys in a shopping video. I can't remember. But this is just one of those badass looking retro slipcovers that is made to look like an old school video store, like clear clamshell with the cut VHS sleeve and then stuck in there. It's just really cool looking. But I haven't watched this, and I don't really know anything about the movie. But you know, with the MVD lines, I buy them all, you know, just for the collection. But I just love the look of MVD. It's so badass. But yeah, we got 2 more announced for MVD, but they don't come out till February. So, all right, getting into the Scream Factory. So I'll show you the 2 non-collector editions first. Movie called Itsy Bitsy. This was a new release from Scream Factory that I picked up in a shopping video last month. You know, when it comes to Scream Factory, you guys know that I pretty much just strictly stick to the collector's editions, but I do have a small collection of just other random stuff from Scream Factory. And if I'm out shopping, you know, whether it's you know, in store at Best Buy or at a used place or something, if I see a Scream Factory that I don't have and they're not that expensive, I'll typically buy them. But this looked kind of cool. I tried to watch this around Halloween time, but I didn't get around to it. I watched so many other movies, but I'll watch this eventually. But just it looks kind of cool, and like I said, it wasn't that much, and I seen it in store, so I just figured I'd pick it up and throw it in the collection. But looks kind of cool. And then same deal, another one that I just happened to stumble upon out shopping. I think at that Half Price Books that I went to when I went to FYE a few weeks back. But I found this. I've never heard of it, but I found this with a slipcover sealed for like $6. So I said, you know, yeah, I'm gonna grab this. So Over Your Dead Body. Like I said, I don't know if this is gonna be any good or not, but it's Scream Factory, and it was brand new, so $6, can't go wrong. And now onto the collector edition, The Blob. Yes, look at that artwork, you guys. The man, Joel Robinson, just nails it again. So I was just super stoked when I heard that when Scream Factory announced that this was coming out as a collector edition. This, of course, is the 80s remake of The Blob, which I don't even think I've ever even seen the original Blob, to tell you the truth. But just a super fun movie. And, God, I think it's one of the best artworks I've seen. Definitely up there as one of my favorites. But I did do an unboxing of this one, an unboxing video of this. I'll link that down in the description box so you guys can see the whole thing, check out the special features and everything. But yeah, there you go. All right, on to the horror titles. Like I said, not a ton like I usually do in the month of October because, you know, most of the horror I got was in 4K, but still some cool stuff here. All right, so we're going to start with the only one that doesn't have a slipcover, and that is Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. Not exactly horror, but, you know, when it comes to my horror collection, I throw everything in there, like thrillers and everything, which this is more of a thriller, suspense thriller, whatever. But a title that I wanted for a while, that, you know, just one of those random catalog titles that you hope to find out in the wild. And this was definitely on the list. Hope to come across at some point, and luckily I did. I think I found it with my sister when we shopped together. But kind of a cool movie with Jodie Foster. And I'm just happy to upgrade this to Blu Ray from DVD. So, yeah, cool find. Next up here is a new Sean William Scott film, a movie called Bloodline. Just came out not too long ago. Seen it in store, and I had to pick it up. I mean, I really like Sean William Scott. You don't see him much in these days in movies, and it's like a thriller, something kind of different for him. So I decided to pick it up. I haven't watched it yet, but I will soon. It looks really cool. Next up here is a newer title that just got released. A movie called Crawl. This was pretty badass. I watched this with my stepdad. A pretty fun movie. I wish that this would have been on 4K. I bet you it would have looked really badass on 4K, but for some reason they only released it on Blu Ray. But yeah, it's just a movie about a hurricane and some killer crocs. So check this movie out. You'll have a good time. Next up here, we got finally on Blu Ray, Addams Family Values. We've had the first one on Blu Ray for a long time now. We finally got the sequel. It was fun to revisit. It's been a long time. But I'm just happy to see the second one now on Blu Ray. That's pretty cool that we finally got this. So, see, first time on Blu Ray. All right, the last horror pickup here is the latest installment in the Conjuring universe, Annabelle Comes Home. I did get a chance to watch this movie, and personally, I gotta say, it's definitely my favorite Annabelle film. Some of you might disagree. I tend to hear that Annabelle Creation seems like it's people's favorite, but I wasn't a fan of Annabelle Creation. I don't know, but this one was good. I liked the storyline to it. I know it wasn't anything special, but it was cool and pretty damn freaky in my opinion. But yeah, definitely a fun one in the Conjuring universe. I'm really digging this Conjuring universe, you guys. They're really freaky movies and really good, and they're a lot of fun to watch. Every time a new one comes out, cannot wait to see it. So. Okay, so like I said, a nice stack of 4K this month. First one up here, finally came to 4K last month, and so happy about it. And that is, of course, the classic Gremlins. Not a huge fan of the slipcover here. I really like the Blu Ray one a lot better, but still, to see it on 4K, and I gotta be honest, I think the slipcover's starting to grow on me a little bit. But anyways, just a classic Christmas movie. Jess totally disagrees that this is not a Christmas movie. And I still don't understand why she says that. Because it starts with a song entitled Christmas. It's all about Christmas. The whole setting is Christmas.
About Christmas.
Really?
It's about little creatures getting fed water when they're not supposed to.
In a Christmas setting.
No, oh my God. There's no storyline.
I cannot see any reason why anybody would even try to think this is not a Christmas movie, because you're crazy.
You are ridiculous.
Next up, another one that I was super stoked to see come to 4K, The Shining. Just trying to show all the horror 4K pickups first. Yeah, and I got a chance to revisit this movie. It had been so many years I could barely remember a thing about the movie. And I rewatched it, and God, this movie has just got to be one of the greatest horror movies ever made, you guys. Love the slipcover on this, and just so happy to see it on 4K. Finally got Zombieland on 4K. I only ever owned a Steelbook for this movie, so I never owned like a slipcover edition or anything like that. Pretty excited to see the sequel. Looks kind of fun. I'll wait, obviously, for that to come to 4K. I'm sure I think it's still in the theater. Yeah, I think it just recently came out. But still, the first one is just such a fun, kick-ass movie. And now I got it on 4K, so awesome. And then the last 4K horror I'm going to show you here is, it's been years since the last movie in this franchise came out, and we finally got a third one to form this trilogy, and that is 3 from Hell. They had a very limited run in the theater for this, and I really tried to go, but I couldn't make it happen. But it came to video pretty quick after that. We didn't obviously have to wait that long. But, you guys, there's been tons of mixed reviews on this movie, and more, hate on it than anything. I will admit it's probably the weakest in the franchise. I mean, yeah, it is. But I don't think it was that bad. I enjoyed it. It was fun to see another, House of Thousand Corpse. People refer to the Firefly trilogy. It was fun to see another one of these movies, to see the characters come back and everything. And I mean, I think I know why it didn't work that well for some people is because, from what I read, Rob Zombie, originally had probably a vision of this movie that would have been a little bit different if Sid Haig was able to fully be in the movie. And then, of course, his health prevented that from happening. Thankfully, Sid Haig was able to get a cameo in this movie, if you want to call it. He does have a small part in it. But I think Rob Zombie envisioned something a little bit different storyline for this movie. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but that's, in my opinion, I think that's probably what it was. That he envisioned a little bit different of a story with Sid Haig, as a main character with the other two. And when his health got in the way of that, and then they brought in this guy, which don't get me wrong, I really actually liked his character. I thought he was, when I found out that they're bringing like a new person in, I was just like, oh, they ain't gonna work without Sid Haig. But I liked his character a lot. He was actually really cool. So I think it made it work. And what they did with Sid Haig's character for the story, I think was kind of cool. I obviously won't say it for those who haven't seen it yet. But overall, it was a fun movie. I think the ending could have been a little bit different. But there was a lot about it that I enjoyed. Yeah, there were some things that I didn't. But overall, it was a good movie. I had fun with it. And, it's my third favorite in the franchise, Nothing will ever pass up Devil's Rejects, in my opinion. That movie kicks ass. And then number 2 would be House of Thousand Corpses, and then this one. But still, check it out, you guys. I think you'll have fun with it. Okay, a couple of Disney 4K here. Up first, Toy Story 4, a movie that I don't know why I didn't see in the theater. Huge fan of the Toy Story franchise, have been since the first one came out. And I did watch this movie, and what can I say? Another fantastic story, movie. But I gotta say, cried like a little baby at the end of this movie. Jess, we put it in and we all sat and watched it together, and then Jess ended up missing like the second half because the little guy woke up and she had to go put him back to sleep, and then she fell asleep, so she didn't get a chance to finish the movie. So I haven't exactly told her what happens at the end.
I Googled it.
Yeah. I'll never understand people like that who Google and spoil it for themselves. Like, that's like hitting yourself in the head with a hammer. Who would do that? I just don't understand. But anyway, it's very sad ending, just like number 3. I don't exactly know where I would rate this in the franchise. It's a toughie. If I really had to go down the line, it would probably go 1, 2, 3, 4 from best to worst. I think they declined a little bit in each movie, but I don't know. I could probably tell you something different tomorrow. But I love the Toy Story franchise. My all-time favorite Disney Pixar franchise. Probably my all-time favorite animated franchise. They're just such fun movies to watch. And just had a fantastic time with this. So I'm glad they made it, because I think at first they were going to just stick with the trilogy, and then along comes part 4. So, all right, next up here, the Lion King, the brand new Lion King live action, if you want to call it. I did watch this, and it was good. Everybody talks about, how it's just, shot for shot remake, which it basically is. But I think my boy Tony says it the best. Friday the 14th. If you haven't seen his channel, definitely go check him out. But anyways, he said it the best, is that, why ruin a good thing? I mean, The Lion King, the original Lion King, is such a good movie, and it was so perfect that why change anything about it? Just give it an update, and that's kind of what they did. They just bettered the graphics and basically gave it a shot for shot redo. But I liked it a lot. It was pretty cool. I liked the voice cast in here is good. Seth Rogen was funny as Pumbaa. But yeah, it was cool. It was a good time, just to kind of revisit The Lion King in a new upgraded way. What did you think of it? She's sleeping. Next up here, you guys, the 23rd installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man Far From Home. Another movie that I tried seeing in the theater, but never did. Finally, though, here it is on 4K. I watched it when I got it, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I would say I probably like it better than the first one. I mean, I really love Michael Keaton's portrayal of Vulture in the first one. I mean, I think that's definitely one of my favorite things about that movie. I mean, it's still a good movie. I mean, Tom Holland just does fantastic as Peter Parker. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the Mysterio character, the twist with him. For those who haven't seen the movie, I won't say it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, this completes Phase 3 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now we head into Phase 4, and got my curiosity going crazy on what they're going to do after Endgame and everything. It's going to be very interesting. A couple more 4K here up next. First time to 4K, It's a Wonderful Life. Just classic Christmas movie that just had to get on 4K. And I know Jess loves this movie, but how could you not own it? And to see it on 4K, it's going to be awesome to see, all the black and whites in 4K. It's going to be interesting. And the last 4K here, so happy this came to 4K, you guys. Just one of my all-time favorite movies, probably one of everybody's all-time favorite movies. And I would say one of those movies that just really gives the definition of what it means when we say classic. And that is definitely this, with a capital C. And that is, of course, The Wizard of Oz. Finally, we got it on 4K, and I cannot wait to see this on 4K. Oh, I just wish I had my setup right now. I don't know how many more times I'm going to say that. But yeah, this is the 80th anniversary. It's kind of cool that it hit 4K on its 80th anniversary. So, cool new slipcover art. Really dig that. But yeah, it's just a great movie to finally see on 4K. So, all right, you guys, we're going to go ahead now and end with the Steelbooks. Okay, so a lot of times when titles come to 4K for the first time, Best Buy will usually put out an exclusive Steelbook, and I usually end up buying most of them. But this one here, The Shining, pretty cool looking. The art on here, I don't know, I kind of like the solid yellow. It's kind of neat. It's the maze from the movie. With if you guys can see, the all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Just over and over and over again all the way through it. But there's the front, there's the back, spine, and then the inside. It's cool. Next up, the exclusive 4K Steelbook for The Wizard of Oz from Best Buy. Love this Steelbook, you guys. The artwork is just fantastic. Here's the front, back, spine. If you guys remember, I picked this up in that shopping video with my sister, and she bought one of these too and just loves it. And there's the inside artwork. Trying to get rid of that glare, sorry. Next up here is a really cool Steelbook. That is the Steelbook for the Santa Claus trilogy, all three of them. And I just love the cover, how there's just nothing on it but that picture. There's no, title or anything else going on there except for Santa in the snow. And it's all embossed and stuff. It's really cool looking. But there's the front. Then you get all the titles on the back. Cool design. There's the spine. And then cool picture of the North Pole on the inside. All right, so I'm going to get into the FYE exclusive Steelbooks now. I got a nice little chunk of them here. I think about 5. But God, I just love the Steelbooks that FYE puts out. They're just so cool looking. I didn't even know about this one. A lot of times I tend to find these online and know that they're coming out. And I ended up seeing somebody show this in one of their videos on YouTube. Tony, the toy collector. I seen that he bought this from FYE, and I didn't even know that this was even out. But just one of my favorite movies, and this is just such a nice Steelbook. And that is The Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis. Love the artwork on that. And then check out the back here. Just too cool. With, Audrey too, and Rick Moranis. There's the spine. And then inside artwork. Next up from FYE, we got Steelbook for the first Annabelle movie. Kind of cool looking. This is a matte one. There's the back. Nothing much going on back there. Spine. And then creepy shot on the inside. Check that out. Next up, we got a Steelbook for the first Addams Family movie. And this is a cool Steelbook, but what I don't like about it is that this cover is basically like the same cover from those slip covers that were put up by Walmart a while back, which I got. But it is cool because, we got this cool new picture on the back. And there's a spine. And there's nothing on the inside. It's just one of those one Steelbooks that just have like the, you don't know what you want to call that. They just have this random stuff going on there, but there's like really no inside art. All right, the next one here is just a friggin' cool looking Steelbook that FYE put out. It took me a while to find this. I finally did. And that is Evil Dead 2. Look at that artwork on there, you guys. Just fantastic. Look at that on the back there. So cool. Spine. And then check this out. That's so cool. And then the last FYE exclusive Steelbook that I picked up is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And this Steelbook, you guys, is just, I love it. It is so cool looking. Even though, the movie's not that good, the Steelbook is awesome. Just look at that artwork with Freddy behind the flames. So cool. Never Sleep Again on the back. There's the spine. And then kind of a cool shot on the inside. Not much going on over here, but Freddy's glove on that side. Yeah, like I said, I'm not, I know a lot of people didn't like the remake, but hey, I dig the Steelbook. All right, next up here is the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook for Toy Story 4. Kind of cool looking. There's things about this one I like, things I don't, as far as the Steelbook goes, but there's the front cover, there's the back, spine, and then I really like the inside artwork. Definitely my favorite of it. Look at all that buzz with all those new characters. So, I bought the 3 exclusive Steelbooks at Best Buy for the first 3 movies. So I figured I gotta get the 4th one when it comes out as well. So, cool. Okay, the last Steelbook and the final title in this update, and that is the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook for Spider-Man Far From Home. And, a lot of Steelbooks that have been coming out lately, they've been, not putting the title on the cover. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Something kind of different. But look at that artwork, you guys. Just so cool looking how they did that. Got all them, characters on the front there. Then here's the back. Cool looking. Spine. And not much on the inside, just a bunch of webs. So, yeah. There you have it. It's all my pickups. All right, that'll wrap it up for this video, everybody. Everything I picked up in the month of October. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button down below. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of all the pickups in this update. Share the video around. Subscribe if you have not. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're always notified every time I have a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.